Thank you all for coming today. Good afternoon. On behalf of Pat Scott and the family, I'd like to welcome you all to the celebration of Betty Scott's life. Wow, what a beautiful rainy day we have here to remember Betty. I hope some of you saw the beautiful rainbows in the afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Scott Brennan, and I've been a friend of Betty's son, Ron, since I was 11, and we joined Boy Scouts. For those of you who don't know all of the family, I wanted to introduce them here at the table. Pat, of course, and his son, Ryan, and his son, Ron, and his husband, Ryan.
He was our officiant. He did marry us.
And Pat and Betty's daughter, Susie, and husband, Billy, and their children, Mandy and Ginger. Okay. I thought it'd be appropriate to begin today with a short prayer. You may bow your heads. In those quiet moments in the still of the night, remember to rejoice and celebrate life. Do not think of me as gone and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on fresh snow. I am the sunlight on the grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in flight. I am the soft stars that shine through the night. You will hear my gentle voice and remember to rejoice. Never give up your fight, and remember always to celebrate life. Amen. We're here today to celebrate the wonderful life of a woman we all love dearly. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Betty. Betty was born on November 10th, 1944, in Monterey Park, California, to Alfred and Louise Clark of Kansas City, Kansas. She was raised with her brother Larry and sister Joanne, who are here with us today. She attended Resurrection Catholic School, Stevenson Junior High, and Garfield High School in Los Angeles. Betty graduated in the class of 1963, and she lettered on her high school drill team. While in high school, Betty worked for Whittier Distributors and at Bushnell Typewriter, so she could afford her 1964 and a half high-power Ford Mustang. On May 1st, 1965, she married her lifelong love, Pat, at the First Methodist Church in Montebello. They raised a family in Whittier with son Ron and daughter Susie. And Betty worked most of her life in the family business at NC Dynamics, which she and Pat started in 1979 with partners Randy and Vicki Baz. She retired from NC Dynamics in 2010, and the couple retired here to Templeton to be close to family and friends, and to enjoy the family's long summertime vacation getaway, Lake Nacimiento. Some of you may know Lake Nacimiento is known as the Dragon Lake. So I've always thought that's where she got her very affectionate nickname.
Not really. No.
Betty loved to shop and travel. She enjoyed many things throughout her life, especially vacations to Hawaii, to the dunes at Glamis, to the Colorado River, boating just about anywhere with family. Betty's favorite thing, however, was spending time with her family and most importantly, supporting her grandchildren. She passed away this month, November 2nd, surrounded by her loving family. You may know she died of complications from sepsis, And the family asked me to tell you this and let you know that in lieu of flowers or gifts, it would be nice to make a contribution to the Sepsis Alliance. And the family created a memorial page for her at justgiving.com/fundraising/Betty Scott. My earliest memories of Betty were that she always kept a warm and loving home. She was always festive for the holidays. She filled her home with fun and friends and laughter. She was a wonderful wife and mother, always very generous with her time and her resources. She was a great conversation starter and always asked about our children. And she was sure dedicated to her children and her grandchildren, whether it was supporting them by traveling and attending cheer competitions that I saw her at with my daughter many times, dance performances like the Nutcracker, horse riding lessons, or just having them over to hang out at the pool. My family always enjoyed spending time with her, especially many times going out wine tasting with her, whites only, of course. Well, Betty is no longer here with us. She will live on through all of our wonderful memories of her. And so today, let's share some of those memories with each other. We'd like to start with Susie's friends, led by Christy Lawson, to come forward and share a few memories of Betty with us. Christy, any friends?
Yeah, just say, come on, ladies.
Good afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Christy Lawson. I'm a longtime friend of Susie's, as well as the rest of the Scott family. When I was in high school, the Scott residence became my home away from home. Well, it was my home more than my own. Betty became my second mother. She welcomed myself as well as all of us girls. Lima, Lisa, Renee, Sirwa, Erica, and Erica into the Scott home. We always felt loved and cherished by Betty and Lyle. Betty always made sure we were all doing our best in school and in our teenage life. I can remember many times when we wouldn't get up in the morning for school. And here came Betty with her squirt ball. Squirting us all in the face and yelling, "Girls, you're gonna be late." She usually had to do this multiple times before we finally would get up. I also remember Susie and I talking her into firing the cleaning lady, Pam. We told her Pam sucks and we could be way better than her. She told us to prove it. Well, we did, and that was the end of Pam. Betty was always our biggest supporter. We will all miss the incredible, inspiring, loving woman that Betty was. She will never be forgotten and will always hold a very special place in my heart. I'd like to share a poem. Forever in your heart. Feel no guilt and laughter. She knows how much you care. Feel no sorrow in a smile that she's not here to share. You cannot grieve forever. She would not want you to. She'd hope that you would carry on the way you always do. So talk about the good times and the ways you showed you cared. The days you spent together, all the happiness you shared. Let memories surround you, a word someone might say will suddenly recapture a time, an hour, a day. That brings her back as clearly as though she still was here and fills you with the feelings that say she's always near. For if you keep those moments, You will never be apart, and they will forever be safely locked in your heart.
Thank you so much. I'd like to now introduce Ron's close friend, Jeff Price, and Ron's high school friends. Please come up, guys.
I don't work without notes, sorry about that. For those of you that missed it, there was a white plume of smoke released over the world headquarters of Laser Star Lights this week, and I was nominated speaker for this band of now middle-aged misfits. But in all seriousness, you've got to back up, because I'm not going to be able to look at you during this speech. So anyhow, it was with great honor that Ron and Rona last week asked me if I would get up and share some stories and remembrances of Betty from my time with the family, and I can't let that lady there. I met Ron through scouting in 1982, and it was probably very shortly thereafter I met Pat and Betty. And not long after that at all, that I probably took my first family vacation to Klamath with them, probably somewhere around, let's say 1986. And many in this group, we were chatting earlier, all had the honor of being guests. And we started as guests, but I think we wound up as family on many a Scott family vacation, whether it was the dunes, or the river, or coming to the lake, Powell. A lot of us got to do many things with them. And it was on these trips that I think we all got to know Betty. And I think you all kind of know what that means. We got to know Betty. She was a woman that didn't mince words. When it came to telling you how things should be, there was a definite way it was going to go. And that was fine because it worked out for all of us. I remember that being especially true when it came to how she wanted her hamburgers. For reasons to this day that will remain inexplicable, I was always nominated to be the grill person when we went to the Dune.
I'll drink the most.
Check one. Many a time I can remember being marched back to the grill with Betty's burger to ensure that it was properly leathered before I returned it. I'm not going to say that Betty liked her burgers and steaks well done, but let's just say once they were cooked to her liking, there was very little difference in the resemblance between the charcoal and the patty or the steak. Now, unlike the last group that was just up here, no aspersions on the young ladies. But we were a fairly well-behaved lot. And most of the time, Betty could express her disapproval for our various shenanigans with her trademark prickly stare. That's all it took. But that isn't to say there wasn't a stiletto sharp tongue to go along with that look. I think I recall my first time when I got a talking to and she wanted to give me a piece of her mind. It wasn't mean. There was never name calling. But once she had said her piece, I knew in no uncertain terms that I needed to correct the errors of my way. And while I don't recall the specific transgression of this particular incident, I do remember not long after that, Ron pulling me aside and putting his arm around me and saying, well, you have been introduced to the realm of the Dragon Lady. And while that particularly scary name may not have had particularly nice origins, I think it evolved to become a term of endearment. and was definitely something that was not negative. She bristled at the reference in the beginning, but I think she grew into her title. And in all reality, it wasn't tough to figure Betty out. I quickly learned in very short order how to navigate the occasionally rough waters of the Scott household. Over the years, I knew Betty. She was a teddy bear. She was a big softie, but unfortunately, I don't know if it was from stories over dinners with Ron and Ryan, my significant others, to a person, all thought she hated them. Every single one. And maybe she did for a good reason, that's not what we're So here we are, it's last year, it's Ron and Ryan's Christmas party, and Betty is seated on the couch, holding court, as Betty frequently does, and Brenda pulls me aside and grabs my arm and goes, I really think Betty hates me. I said, you know what, I know Betty well enough. We need only go over, compliment her hair and nails, ask her about her grandchildren, and everything will be fine. An hour later, Brenda was still sitting there talking to me, so I found out in very short order that Betty was nobody to be scared of. I think there possibly could have been a few folks that may have met Betty along the way that just didn't get her. They couldn't reconcile maybe her brutal honesty or the occasional chilly gaze. But you know what? In my opinion, that was their loss. I only knew Betty to be a loving mother and grandmother, a devoted wife, and a genuinely kind soul. I know she wouldn't approve of all of this, so I'm gonna get off the Sally stuff and get moving on. Anyhow, I think the girls expressed, Christy said the same thing. I feel as though I grew up in the Scott household. I think the argument could be made, hell, I probably spent more days in that house than I did in my parents' home. And through my teens and my 20s, I think I was there more. And whether they knew it or not, Pat and Betty were my parents. Other parents, but they were still my parents. On Thanksgiving last week, I called Pat and I needed to be sure that on that day, I let him know that I was genuinely thankful that I had Pat and Betty in my life. Thank you. What I did is I let you guys remind a few remarks. Let them take their chances. It's a rough crowd.
I'll go. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mario. Grew up through high school with Ron. Now that Betty's not here to whip out the dragon lady on me. Jeff said he thinks he spent more time at the house, and I know I did. Matter of fact, the girls that were up here, I'm pretty sure we introduced them to drinking. Pat's still here. I'm sure he probably knows this already, but when they used to go to Hawaii, we used to have parties. But the really nice thing was that we never went home, so we just kind of crashed wherever we could, so nobody was drinking and driving. But there was one time that we decided after work, we put in a hard week of 40 hours, and so we thought, there's this really nice Acura Legend in the garage. And it's Friday. We should go to Laughlin. It's only 4 hours from now. It was absolutely Ron's idea. backseat asleep. Mark might have been there. And all of a sudden I saw headlights behind me moving back and forth. And since we were kind of quasi involved with law enforcement with the highway patrol as an explorer, I knew what that meant. So I just kind of pulled over and I said, Jeff, wake up, wake up. He's like, are we there already? I go, no, we're being pulled over. And sure enough, a CHP officer pulls in behind us and turns on his red light. I think he was gracious that he didn't have to chase me because I was driving at the time. And
That's pretty great.
so he walked up to the passenger window and he said, I have you on radar at 98 and I'm sure you were going faster than that. I need your license and registration. I said, well, it's going to take me a minute to get the registration because the car's stolen. So I opened up my wallet to get my ID and happened to see my badge there. I was working for a campus safety department. And he said, damn, I knew I was going to pull over a cop. He said, was that Mercedes with you? And I said, no, sir. And he goes, have a nice day. He gets back in his cruiser and he takes off after the So after our nice trip to Laughlin, we go back and we clean up the car and we put it back in the parking spot. I'm not sure Betty actually, well, she probably did know that we took it.
I never
No?
Not a clue.
So the cat's out of the bag.
Girls don't listen to this.
I'll give you my cell number to in seriousness, Betty was like the second mom to me. That's been like a dad to me. I miss her a lot. And we all grieve because she's not here. It's a little selfishness on our own part. But she's in a better place, and we just have to, I think Scott said it, we have to keep her alive in our memory, and we will miss the Dragon Lady. Thank you very much.
Howdy, everybody. My name is James Ojula, and you'll be sensing a theme here. I've known Ron since our earliest days in scouting in the early 80s. Very first camp out. And when you're asked to think of your memories of Betty, it's hard to pick just one because she was just a constant in our lives. She was everywhere. She was welcoming, and she would get after us a bit, but I think she just took a break on us. She was too busy with Susie and her friends. In comparison, we were the angels. As a member of the scouting troop and at Betty's activity within the scouting troop, become more and more involved with the family. It's just amazing how welcoming we felt. And maybe even at the time it didn't occur to us, but now with the benefit of some years on us, we've come to appreciate how, a matter of fact she was, that yes, of course, she'd come over after football games or after a scouting trip, or to come home and randomly find us camped out on their couches after school, and no hesitation about it. And that was such a wonderful thing for people whose families weren't as open. So the Scott household has always been a refuge extended friends and family of their children, and I too felt that love, and I return that love to them forever. So thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Wonderful job. I want to let everyone know on the table, you should find 2 cards. There's a memorial card that the family had made for all of you to take with you. And there is also a card that says, "My favorite memory of Betty." And that card is for everyone to share a nice memory of Betty with the family. If you could please put those cards in the hurricane lanterns at the back here at the end of the program. They'll be put together in a binder for the family to read. I wanted to introduce Pat and Betty's longtime friend and business partner, Randy Bass, to come and say a few words.
Ooh, okay. Those are 2 tough acts to follow. And you know, when I was asked to talk just a couple of minutes ago, the term Dragon Lady came to me immediately. But I didn't know if it was something that I should bring up or not. And I didn't realize that it was so prevalent among the children. And so I want to speak a little bit about the time, the years that Pat and Betty and I spent together. I probably spent more time with Pat and Betty, waking hours, than I did with my own family. And Betty, her ethics, resolve, and just just the way that she was just fantastic. And we made her our, not our accountant, but she was our bookkeeper at first, and she worked her way into being the controller of an aerospace manufacturing company that we can be pretty proud of. And she was there all the time. And through the years, when we first got into business, everybody said the first couple of years were going to be hard, and we were going to have cash flow problems and this and that, and we followed that directly. We always had cash flow problems in the first probably 10, 12 years that we were in business. And we kind of realized the 3 most important things in running a small business were cash flow, and cash flow. And Betty was the one who kind of became responsible for that for us. And when we owed people money, she would be on the phone with them, and she took care of them. And through all the 35 years that we were in business together, she never stiffed anybody. We paid everything. We were never late on the payroll. We were never late on our taxes. And the majority of the reason for that is the job that she did with us. Okay? She was just relentless as far as doing the best that she could and taking care of us and the people we did business with. When people owed us money, she was relentless. And that's where I believe the term Dragon Lady came. I think it started there, okay? But it kind of filtered in, through family and everything else, because she was good at what she did, and she was just as stable as, the sun coming up every morning, that kind of thing. She was just wonderful. Well, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time up here because they had some great stories, and what I am going to say is, as tough as she was in both those directions with money, And the fact that she was always there working hard and taking care of our employees, the people that we work with and everything, when this time of year came around, she really showed herself, because she was the first one to say, what are we going to do for Christmas for everybody? And we had, for years and years and years, the greatest Christmas parties, bonuses for our employees. We never laid off an employee in 35 years of business. And a lot of that had to do with her love and tenderness for the people that she worked with, her family, and everybody that she knew. And that was Betty. You want me to introduce? Okay, come on up, you guys. Ron, you want to come up too?
Yeah. Puff the Magic Dragon.
Vicky.
That's it.
No.
Come on.
Drew, come on up.
Yeah, Dad.
Drew? Right here. Okay, real quick.
I didn't recognize you.
Okay. I think we were all a big part of Betty's life, and these are NC Dynamics employees that are here today for her and for Patrick and the rest of the family. This is my son Andrew, who was our Vice President of Information Technologies. Vince Braun, who was Vice President of Material.
One of our first employees.
One of our first employees, John Turner, who was Vice President of Manufacturing. He came to us, he was our second employee, came to us out of a tire shop. And I think
we still know that you're.
I think back then he would break every lug nut that he tried to take off when he started. But he ended up running one of the best aerospace manufacturing companies around. Ron Barker was our sales manager for quite a few years. And Ryan, you're still with NC.
He's still there.
And not Ron Scott too.
I was there too.
But anyway, today is Betty's day, and she was just absolutely somebody to hold us all together, and she really helped us to not go bankrupt numerous times. But again, the most important thing was that love and tenderness that she really felt for everybody, even though she was a very tough person when it came to the things that she had to take care of. And, what a great, great deal.
Thank you so much, Randy, and everyone from NC Dynamics. I know everybody is choked up and emotional and eager to speak right now, but I just wanted to offer the microphone if anyone else would like to come up and share a memory of Betty. You're welcome to come on up. Thank you, Marsha.
Marsha.
Marsha, long-time family friend,
Neighbor. Long-time neighbor. Wasn't sure she could come up.
Yeah, I'm still not sure, but we'll see what we can do with this.
Got it.
First of all, the thing that Randy said about the money, I know for a fact, because we talked about this the first week after Betty passing. Pat and I discussed the fact when she went shopping, never once did she pay full price for anything. If she didn't have a coupon or 30% off at Kohl's, she wasn't buying it. I do know that. So our friendship started probably around 9 1975, 76. We both moved into our homes on the Forge in 71. And then Ronnie was already a couple years old. Tori was turned 1 in that house, and then Susie and Shelby came along in 73 and 74. So a couple years after that, we started all of the camping and boating, and they tried to get Bob and myself to Glamis. We did that a couple times. And once that ATC ate me up and threw me out in that, we were done with that. As the years passed, we had several trips. One of the other thing, Pat and Bob, because they drank just a little bit. So they happened to be pulling a pallet jack to move something from one of the houses. And they left a big groove from our house to their house. So for the next several years, that's how they got back and forth. just follow the track. Sitting in the boat, getting shit-faced drunk.
Shocking.
But anyway, let's see. The trips, we've had fabulous, fabulous trips with the Scotts. We went to a mansion in Puerto Vallarta, Hawaii. As a matter of fact, we all are celebrating right now, today, our Hawaii vacation that we would have been on right now. Susie and I, well, for me, I was waiting for the miracle. I couldn't cancel my trip. I couldn't. So Susie and I finally canceled after Betty had passed. And it was like giving up. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but we did that. I think about my kids and Tori, my oldest, and I'm sure Shelby says the same thing, that there's no family memory without Pat and Betty. None. Because we did so much together, had so much fun. Second mom and dad, just like these young girls and the boys have said, you know, there were times that we kind of lost touch a bit, but always came back, and I would say the last 5-10 years we've been pretty close and done a lot of things together. I don't know. I could probably go on and on, but I'm going to lose it here soon. When you have friends like that, these friends are irreplaceable. We could not live without each other. That first week after Betty had passed, and we came to spend time with Pat. Pat and I are the emotional ones. Really? And we had some good cries. We had some good cries, we had some good talks. I tried to tell him what to do, and I tried to be the mom.
Shocking. You're very good at
Yeah, I just wanted to protect him. So I just want you to know, forever and always, we will love you. We will love her. We will miss her. Love you guys. So, thank you. Thank you for being there for us, and my kids, and me, Bob.
Thank you, Martha. Next, I wanted to invite Betty's brother, Larry, to come up and say a few words.
I am what Betty referred to me as my older brother. We love that. Betty had some dark days, and most people don't know this, but there are some people here who do. Betty and I were raised really in Monterey Park, and our house was the last row to hundreds of acres of wheat fields. And what a playground. And since Betty's passing, a lot of memories go by. Most of them are good. And I taught her to ride a bicycle, but she had a trait for getting me in trouble. And I'm trying to pass this wisdom on to my grandkids. Look out for your sister. We had I raised chickens in Monterey Park. Betty hated the chickens. She really hated the chickens. You'd turn them loose, and I'd have to chase them in those wheat fields. And I would collect lizards, various types of lizards. And one day she walked out and dropped a rock on one of my pet lizards in the cage. And so, I went into orbit, and I went screaming, Mom. We called her Mom. And Mom came out, and she said, well, what did you do to make her mad? So, some things you just don't win. Some of the tough times, Joanne, Betty, and I had, our parents were divorced at a very young age for us, and we had an aunt and an uncle that were fantastic. Back there is a cousin that lived with the aunt and uncle, her parents. And when the parents split up, the whole family split up. And the house was sold. Our mom went to live in a room. She worked every day. And Betty kind of came out of that with an attitude I hear tonight. I kind of raised the two in East Los Angeles, and I was pretty much king when Mom was working, except for one person didn't let me be king. And through the years, I often got the look that somebody mentioned here a little bit ago. Maybe that's where the Dragon Lady started. I just didn't know it. But we lived with our aunt and uncle for a few years. Slept two in a bed. And we got along. And I think Betty, that stuck with her for years. There were kind of hard times. Our mom provided what she could, but Betty was bound and determined to move beyond that. And from what I hear tonight, she really did. She was her own boss, which I learned several years ago, but I tried never to admit it. And, that's the memories. The memories, they're all good. And her sarcastic remarks she would make to me were loving remarks. They were never mean. And so I'll remember that always. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I wanted to let you all know that there's going to be food served at 4 o'clock in the room over here, food and desserts. Tons and tons of food, so please get some. And by the desserts, you're going to find a recipe card that you're all encouraged to take one, and it has Betty's famous birthday cake on one side and her Kansas green salad on the other. In her handwriting. Let's all hope that the food and service is up to Betty's standards, so she doesn't have to come back and have a word with the staff. And one final thought I'd like to share before Ryan starts his presentation for the family, and it's a poem called The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most was the dash between those years. For Betty, 1944-2008. 18. Thank you. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on Earth. And now only those who love them know what that line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? On behalf of the family, I'd like to thank you all for sharing your wonderful memories of Betty and her well-lived dash.
Amen.
Okay, this is really hard to follow up. You guys are amazing. My sister Susie and her girlfriends, you guys are all, there you are. Where are you at? Oh, I don't know. And Ronnie's friends, you guys. I mean, think about just for a half a second. I probably don't have to say this, but think about all these people that are still friends with mom and dad's kids. These are people that they have known from elementary school, scouts. I mean, you guys, it goes on for a very long time. This is amazing. They're old. Like Susie's 45. Mom's 50. I know. It's amazing that these people have just rallied to come here and show and speak so eloquently about the home and the love that mom provided. And their friends, Marcia coming up and talking so eloquently, and the DWC and all these people that they have known for just decades, 50 plus years of mom and dad being married, and Joanne, who won't come up here, but that's okay. And all of our family that we have is just, it's amazing. And I don't really know how I can follow all this up. I did write something that I will get into, but I just had to acknowledge that. It's pretty amazing to feel and see, and thank you all for being here. I mean, there's 160 some odd people here. For maybe, I guess I should have started with, for those of you who don't know, I'm the son-in-law. With that said, I'm gonna go into what I wrote so I don't cry. Okay. You guys all know Mom, many names. Elizabeth Louise Clark is what she was born as, that's her given name. Betty Lou, as she was growing up. And then Betty Scott, when she married Dad, obviously then Mom. I may, apparently after hearing everybody got this out of order, but then the Dragon Lady. And then the girls called her Old Bet, which was hilarious. hilarious. And then, of course, Grandma, because she loved nothing more than being a grandmother. These are all things Mom has been called. She was and always will be Mom to me. She was my mother-in-law, but she was so much more. When we first met, boy, was that an interesting, rough day. But in true fashion, I mean, I was a teenager, for God's sake. Yes, my husband is a chicken hawk. What is that? When we first met, she greeted me, made me feel welcome, and you know what? That is something that was part of Mom's quiet grace. She always welcomed everybody, no matter anything. She would talk to you, she would want to know who you were, she loved everyone in this room. She just exuded that love and care for each and every one of you, whether she met you once or she met you and seen you 1,000 times, it did not matter. She just loved with her heart on her sleeve. But, you know, she did not always show that. So that was part of what Jeff was talking about, that people did not always know the true Betty, because she would kind of hold that wall up. She always wanted to make sure that you knew how much she appreciated those that she met, those that she helped, and those that she hosted. Mom loved a party, and of course, telling you how to throw that party and making sure you wrote a checklist. None of us ever did a checklist. When it came to her kids and her grandkids, if there was something in her power to help, she did it without pause. Like, there was nothing that she would not do was within her power. When Dad founded Laser Star with Ron and his business partner, Randy, Mom was full speed to make it something special for her son and then later her daughter, and then for me as well a few years later. There's been so much sacrifice that you all are just not aware of. Mom and Dad supported our business when it was in its roughest, hardest times. There were times that were rough and there were times that were good. And in true Betty fashion, she wanted to offload the company to us kids because she said, as soon as I have to start paying taxes on that damn thing, it's yours. And that's true. She said those exact words. I also read somewhere that you always fight with those that you were closest to. And to a degree with Mom, that was 100% true. And speaking personally, what made my specific relationship wonderful with Mom is that as the years went on, she and I would disagree passionately and call each other out on our bullshit. Absolutely 100%. I remember a very specific time, Mom and I talking about a very specific work, family dynamic issue, and I said, you know, we all just need to go to therapy. And Mom in true fashion said, well, you all need therapy for sure, but not me. To which I contorted, well, you need therapy the most, you probably need electroshock therapy. And she and I could not stop laughing, busting up, creating a scene in the middle of Marie Callender's in Whittier. I'll never forget it as long as I live. So if there's anything that you didn't know about Mom, it was her deep emotional feelings for her family, which she never showed her vulnerability publicly, but in private, we all had our moments. Mom's life has gone too soon, but filled with so much. Like I said earlier, look around, seriously. Look at all, I'm just amazed by all the people. You have come from all around to support us, but also to honor Mom. And we cannot thank you enough for that. I miss her greatly. I mourn deeply, but I will smile constantly when I think about all that she has done for us and continues to do even though she's gone. And with that, I'm gonna say thank you, and we have a little slideshow that Susie put together that we would like to share with you all, and thank you very much.